Namaskar. Welcome to India Meteorological Department's daily weather briefing program. Myself, Dr. M.T. Busher. In this presentation, I will be discussing about the past 24-hour weather and about the weather forecast and warnings that we are expecting for next 5 days. So first, let's look into the weather observed during past 24 hours. So maximum temperature observed was above 40 degrees Celsius and above over most parts of the West Rajasthan and Marathwada and over many parts of Gujarat state and Vidarbha, over some parts of West Madhya Pradesh, Madhya Maharashtra and Rayalaseema, and at isolated pockets over Telangana and Odisha. So the maximum temperature were above normal by 4.5 degrees Celsius over most parts of the Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Gilgit-Baltistan, Muzaffarabad, Himachal Pradesh, Punjab and West Rajasthan, over many parts of Haryana, Chandigarh, Delhi, East Rajasthan and Assam, Meghalaya, over some parts of West Madhya Pradesh, Arunachal Pradesh and sub-Himalayan West Bengal, Sikkim, and at isolated pockets over Vidarbha and Gujarat state. So as on yesterday, severe heat wave conditions were observed at most parts over West Rajasthan. In many pockets over Himachal Pradesh and heat wave conditions in some pockets over Saurashtra, Kutch, West Madhya Pradesh and Vidarbha, and in isolated pockets over Gujarat region. Yesterday, heavy rainfall is also observed over Andaman Nicobar Island and Kerala Mahi. So as on yesterday, the significant rainfall amount recorded was 9 centimeter over Car Nicobar and 4 centimeter Nancovary, and Konni of Kerala reported 7 centimeter. Let's look into the highlights of the weather and forecast. So last few days IMD is monitoring a low pressure area over Southeast Bay of Bengal and adjoining area. So as on today morning, this system formed as a well marked low pressure over low pressure area over Southeast Bay of Bengal and adjoining South Andaman Sea, and which is likely to intensify into cyclonic storm by 21st March 2022, that is on day after tomorrow. Heat wave to severe heat wave conditions prevail over West Rajasthan and heat wave conditions prevail over Gujarat state, West Madhya Pradesh and Vidarbha. So the heat wave conditions likely to abate from tomorrow onwards over most parts of the affected region. Coming to the weather system and forecast, as I mentioned, yesterday's low pressure area over Southeast Bay of Bengal and adjoining South Andaman Sea and East Equatorial Indian Ocean moved east northeastwards and lies as a well marked low pressure area over Southeast Bay of Bengal and adjoining South Andaman Sea as on today morning, that is on 19th March. It is likely to move nearly northwards along and off Andaman and Nicobar Islands and further intensify into a depression by tomorrow morning, and further it is intensified into a cyclonic storm on 21st March, that is on day after tomorrow. Thereafter, it is likely to move nearly northeastwards and reach near North Myanmar and Southeast Bangladesh coast on 22nd March 2022. So this is the graphical representation of the track of the mentioned system. So as on today morning, this system is seen as a well marked low pressure area over this region. So as this system expected to follow the track that shown in this graphical representation. So as on 21st 0 UTC, this system may formed as a cyclonic storm over this region, and further it moves this direction and it may reach up to the North Myanmar and Southeast Bangladesh region as on 22nd 12 UTC. Coming to the rainfall warning associated with the well marked low pressure area. On 19th March, light to moderate rainfall or thunderstorm at most places with heavy to very heavy rainfall at a few places, very likely over Andaman Nicobar Island, and isolated extremely heavy rainfall also very likely over Nicobar Island and South Andaman Islands. On 20th March, light to moderate rainfall or thunder shower at most places with heavy to very heavy rainfall at a few places and isolated extremely rainfall are very likely over Andaman Islands and isolated heavy rainfall over Nicobar Islands. On 21st March, light to moderate rainfall or thunder shower at most places with heavy to very heavy rainfall at a few places and isolated extremely heavy rainfall are very likely over Andaman Islands. Light to moderate rainfall at a few places is likely over Nicobar Islands. On 19th March, squally wind speed reaching 45 to 55 km per hour, gusting to 65 km per hour are likely to prevail over Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Andaman Sea and Southeast Bay of Bengal. On 20th March, squally wind speed reaching 55 to 65 km per hour, gusting to 75 km per hour are very likely to prevail over Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Andaman Sea and adjoining Southeast Bay of Bengal from forenoon and would gradually increase thereafter. On 21st March, gale wind speed reaching to 70 to 80 km per hour, gusting to 90 km per hour are very likely to prevail over Andaman and Nicobar Islands, East Central Bay of Bengal and adjoining Southeast Bay of Bengal. On 22nd March, gale wind speed reaching 60 to 70 km per hour, gusting to 80 km per hour are very likely to prevail over East Central Bay of Bengal and adjoining and off Myanmar coast. Squally wind speed reaching 40 to 50 km per hour, gusting to 60 km per hour is likely to prevail over North Andaman Island, North Andaman Sea and adjoining Southeast Bay of Bengal, Northeast Bay of Bengal and along and off Southeast Bangladesh, North Myanmar coast. Coming to the sea conditions. Sea condition is very likely to become rough to very rough over Andaman Sea and adjoining Southeast Bay of Bengal during 19th March. It would become very rough over the same region on 28th, that is on tomorrow. Sea condition very likely to become very rough high over Andaman Sea, Southeast and adjoining East Central Bay of Bengal on 21st, over East Central and adjoining Southeast and Northeast Bay of Bengal and North Andaman. Sea condition, sea and along and off Myanmar coast on 22nd March. It would be rough to very rough over Northeast Bay of Bengal, along and off Southeast Bangladesh, North Myanmar coast during the same period. So fisherman warning. Fishermen are advised not to venture into Southeast Bay of Bengal on 19th to 21st March and not advised to venture over Andaman Sea and along and off Andaman and Nicobar Island during 19th to 22nd March and not advised to venture into East Central Bay of Bengal during 21st to 22nd March into Northeast Bay of Bengal on 22nd March. So this is the graphical representation of the fisherman warning. It is advised not to venture for fishing over the marked region on 19th, 20th, 19 to 20 and 20 to 21 and 21 to 22, 23 to 24 and there is no warning on day 5, that is on 23 to 24. So coming to the temperature and heat wave forecast. So no significant change in temperature are very likely over most parts of the northwest India during next 24 hours and a fall by 2 degrees Celsius thereafter. And a fall in maximum temperature by 1 to 2 degrees Celsius very likely over most parts of the west, central and south India during next 2 to 3 days. No significant change in the maximum temperature over rest parts of the country. Coming to the heat wave warning, reported maximum temperature indicates a falling tendency throughout the country. This trend is likely to cause abatement in heat wave conditions from most part of the affected region from tomorrow. Still, heat wave to severe heat wave conditions very likely to prevail in isolated pockets over West Rajasthan on today, that is on 19th March, and isolated heat wave conditions on 20th March, that is on tomorrow. Heat wave conditions very well likely to prevail in isolated to some parts of the Vidarbha during next 3 days, West Madhya Pradesh during next 4 days, and our Gujarat state today, that is on 90th March. Now rainfall forecast for other parts of the country. So under the influence of the western disturbance, isolated to scattered rainfall or snowfall with isolated thunderstorm or lightning very likely to form our West Himalayan region on 90th, on 20th, that is on today and tomorrow. Light isolated rainfall with a thunderstorm and lightning very likely over Kerala, Mahi, Tamil Nadu, Puducherry, Karaikal and Karnataka during next 5 days. Over Rayalaseema and coastal Andhra Pradesh during 20th and 22nd, and over Telangana on 19th March 2022. Light to moderate isolated rainfall with a thunderstorm lightning very likely over northeast India from 21st March 2022. So this is the graphical representation of the weather warning for next 5 days. As I mentioned, there is a rainfall warning is issued for Jammu Kashmir region, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand region for today and tomorrow. There are heat wave conditions over West Rajasthan, Saurashtra, Kutch, Gujarat region, West Madhya Pradesh and Vidarbha on today, and on tomorrow West Madhya Pradesh, Vidarbha and West Rajasthan region for tomorrow. And on 21st March, Vidarbha and West Madhya Pradesh region, we are expecting heat wave conditions. On 22nd, over West Madhya Pradesh, we are expecting heat wave conditions. And over coming to the rainfall warning. So rainfall warning is issued over coastal Karnataka, Goa, Kerala, Tamil Nadu, Karnataka regions, and Rayalaseema and Telangana regions as on today. And tomorrow also most of the southern states, and on 21st Kerala, coastal Karnataka and Goa, Karnataka region and coastal Andhra Pradesh has issued rainfall warning. Similarly, heavy rainfall warning is issued for Andaman Nicobar Island associated with the low pressure area formed over Southeast Bay of Bengal on today, tomorrow, 21st and 22nd. Wind warning is also issued over this region. Over Kerala, all 5 days rainfall warning is issued. 22nd and 23rd, you can see the rainfall warning is issued over the northeastern states except NMMT on 22nd March. IMD's forecast and warnings are also available on the Mausam, Damini and Meghdoot app. These are available in the Android and iOS platforms. Thank you.